Bonjour tout le monde, welcome back to French with Harry. And today we are going to talk about something very important in French. That is accents. Accents are little marks that are present on some letters in French. The reason why they are so important is that sometimes they not only change the pronunciation but also the meaning of the word. And today we are going to talk about the acute and the grave accent. Let's look at the first one. It is accent aigu or the acute accent. The symbol for this accent goes up to the right like a forward tilt. It is only used with the letter E, and the letter E after its usage looks like this. The sound produced is A, just like the word say in English. For example, un café, which means a coffee. The A sound is due to the accent aigu used on the letter E at the end. Without the accent aigu at the end on letter E, the sound would be like un caf, but with its presence, it becomes un café. Another example is un étudiant, which means a student. Not only the accent aigu is present, but also the liaison takes place. That is, the N gets connected with E, and therefore it sounds like un étudiant. Un étudiant. You can see the accent aigu in many other words, such as une télévision, which means a television. Une école, a school. Both of these are feminine nouns. Not only nouns, the accent aigu is seen in many verbs, such as écouter, which means to listen. Another verb is écrire, which means to write. Écrire. Now the next one is accent grave, or the grave accent. It goes down to the left like a backward tilt. Not only with E, it is also used with two other letters, A and U. When the grave accent is used on E, it changes the pronunciation. It sounds like A. The pronunciation is A. But when the same accent is used on A and U, there's no change in pronunciation. The accent is just used to distinguish between different words. Let's see the examples when the grave accent is used on the letter E. For example, un père, which means a father. Un père. There's this A sound. Un frère, which means a brother. These both were masculine. Next is une chèvre, which means a goat. Last one is très, which means very. Très. When the grave accent is present on the letter A, the meaning is at or to. But when we remove it, the meaning changes. Now it means has. Notice the pronunciation of the two words is the same. The accent grave is also seen in other words such as voilà. One of the meanings of this word is here is or here are. This is the one that we use to present something or show something. For example, voilà and then adding the name of the object. The letter A with grave accent is also seen in many greetings. For example, à demain, which means see you tomorrow. The grave accent on the letter U is very rare. One of the examples is où. It means where. For example, où est le restaurant, which means where is the restaurant. But if the grave accent is not present, its meaning is or. For example, le café ou le thé, the coffee or the tea. There are also some words in which both the acute and the grave accent are used together. For example, élève. The first E uses accent aigu or the acute accent sounding like A. The next one uses the grave accent and the sound is A. Élève. Then we will use liaison as the word starts with the vowel and the pronunciation is un élève, which means a pupil. Next is an adjective célèbre, which means famous. And the last is déjà, which means already. And you already know that the grave accent on the letter A doesn't change the pronunciation. It's déjà. That's it for today. If you like the video, click on the thumb icon. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications so that you don't miss the part 2. À la prochaine.